My Show. Sandra Pearl's My Show aired on Jones Intercable Channel 12 in Tampa, Florida. It lasted from 1987 to 1992 and featured various sketches and music videos performed by Sandra herself, though instead of singing her own songs, she produced covers of hit songs from the time. A December 2003 article from WFMU describes many of these music videos and the small-time guests featured, which I won't delve too much into. Her most well-known clip is her cover of Janet Jackson's 1986 song Nasty Boys.
Oh, you nasty boys. I don't like no nasty girl. I don't like a nasty food.
Sandra's singing can be best described as amateurish, though this might have been on purpose to entertain her audience. It was a sketch comedy series after all. Many clips from the show began appearing on YouTube in 2006, which gained Sandra a bit of early internet fame. This didn't last long though, as she decided to become a recluse and took down much of the footage. It is known that 3 full episodes have survived, but their whereabouts are still unknown. You can still find various clips from My Show on YouTube, some coming from the official channel belonging to Tampa Public Access Vault.
King Koopa's Cool Cartoons. This was a short-lived spin-off of the 1989 series, The Super Mario Bros. Super Show, which was produced by Deke Entertainment. King Koopa's Cool Cartoons were distributed by Fox Television and aired on KTTV-11 in the Los Angeles area and reportedly parts of Arizona as well. It aired after school at around 4:30 p.m. as a test market to see how popular the show could be done before expanding upon it. This didn't work, however, as the show was critically panned and performed horribly. Part of that might have to do with the host himself. A creepy live-action version of King Koopa portrayed by either Christopher Collins and Pat Pinney. Koopa would interact with an audience of children, known as Koopa's Troopas. He would host segments of himself opening fan mail, telling jokes, and interacting with other strange characters such as Mr. Mean Jeans.
The deal here, no costume. Oh, I expected Ratso with a prize giveaway, a power glove here. To Maurice Brown of Whittier. He wins a Mattel Power Glove. I'll be giving away a Toys R Us $100 gift certificate, so stay tuned if you're a member of the Fox Cut.
Interlaced to those segments were old public domain cartoons from the 1920s and 30s, which just shows how truly lazy this show was. It laid in obscurity until recently, when a few scattered clips began popping up online. YouTube user Neil posted a 49-second clip from the show, which was part of a Thanksgiving marathon on Fox Kids in 1989. Along with that and other random pieces of footage, you can find both the intro and outro from an episode. Besides that, no full episode of King Koopa's Cool Cartoons has been found. The only thing close to that is a retro drunk user named MLAKonoSP, who in 2006 said he recorded 2 episodes and saved them onto his computer. However, we haven't heard from him ever since.
Now it's my right as a big kid who never grew up to play the cartoons I want. And if I don't, I hold my breath till I turn pink. Here's all's well, and it will be if I get my way. I'll be back with more prizes and more cartoons.
Death's Head Theater. For years this show was mainly known as Goth Public Access, with a 2007 Cracked.com article giving its backstory. It alleges that this boy, Saul, was being brutally bullied in school, to the point that he begged his parents to move. They didn't, and instead set up a public access show that he could have full control over. This was what he could come up with, a bizarre show where he showcased his dark personality. Instead, the clip comes off as cringy, since Saul attempts to read a poem and awkwardly stops partway through.
The big ones eat hearty and grow very stout. They bore holes in your nose, they eat your fingers, your privates, your toes.
Is that it?
No.
Where's the rest?
I paused for a moment because there's a pause in it.
Oh, pause.
It turns out though that this story was made up completely, and that this person wasn't even named Saul. They weren't even the host of the show. That role belonged to this woman, Rail One Cloud. She's a radio host who made 3 public access shows, both also being lost. They are Cute Scary Pop Show and Post Mortem Espresso. Goth Public Access was actually called Death's Head Theater, and this 2-minute clip is all we have from it. Saul's real name isn't known, though they do go by Z, Zoe, and Zala Goth. The two lived together for a time, as mentioned in Rail's blog, Teeny Turtle's Weird World of Whatnots. Despite allegedly airing in 1988, this show actually aired sometime between 2002 and 2005, as seen with Z's shirt from Ozzy Osbourne's reality show from the time. Rail would re-upload that 2-minute clip of Death's Head Theater, along with her other work. One even includes Z dancing on the Post Mortem Espresso show. She was working on uploading more clips, but she sadly passed away in 2016. If you want to learn more information about this topic, I recommend watching this video by RamtroStudios, which I'll link below.
Pinellas Idol. This show has only 1 episode found, which happens to be the first one aired. We don't know how many other episodes there are when it aired, though it was most likely sometime in the early 2000s. This is due to the fact that Pinellas Idol was an unofficial spin-off of the new show American Idol, which first aired in 2002. Its name comes from the county in Florida it was produced and aired in. The first episode begins by introducing the host Kenneth C. Christie and the 3 judges, Sylvester Bryant, Bernard Thomas, and AJ Alley. In total, there were 5 acts performed, that being a hip-hop duo known as Bombay, a hip-hop trio called Group X, who come from the New England area, rapper and poet Rufat, Sachel Barber, who is referred to as the Sassy Poet, and dancer Travis Williams. The first instance of episode 1 appearing online was a YouTube upload on September 11, 2006 by user Justin Dash. The only other information we have on the series come from the end credits and from a Tampa Bay Times article written in 2020. It details the life of a singer named Zai, aka Vonabelle Hurst, who said she won an episode of Pinellas Idol.
We have everybody's back here in the house today. Thank you very much. This is Kenneth C. Christie, your host of Pinellas Idol, and we'll see you next time. This is great, guys.
Dance, dance.
The Rimini Riddle. This Irish kids show originally aired on public access, though soon began airing its episodes on RTE and Network 2. The Rimini Riddle had a total of 3 seasons, between September 1992 to March 1995, through a programming block named Saturday Club. It too has remained obscure, though some viewers have put together a decent plot summary. The parents of Rory, Leo, and Ellen die, so they move into the Rimini guest house run by their Aunt Vera. There, the trio delve into the mysteries of the house, which has something to do with this painting of 2 little girls from the Victorian era. Apparently both these girls drowned, which might not have been an accident. Leo's stuffed otter, named Otto, is suspected to have malicious intent, and may have been the one to kill the girls. This show is pretty episodic, which is bizarre for children's puppet shows at the time, and yes, they'll address the elephants in the room, or the disturbing malnourished abominations in the room. These puppets are creepy, and probably scared a lot of young kids back in the day.
Rory! You're alive! How dare you frighten us like that?
How dare I frighten you?
We were only going to give you a little fright. That was a really nasty fright you gave us.
Perhaps I was a bit hard on you. I didn't realize you were only children.
Some of those viewers began searching for more episodes on the show back in 2008, with a Facebook page and various forum sites discussing memories from the Rimini Riddle. Many clips have surfaced, including edited clips from the Irish comedy series Don't Feed the Gondolas, which parodied the show by making it seem like a porno.
Vera, you've been through so much.
That's awful. It's just awful.
On May 28, 2019, Facebook user Maddie McMullen posted the episode descriptions and air dates for 25 of the episodes. Another episode only has an air date, and she got this from RTE itself.
Cloud9. This was a programming block that aired from 1998 to 1999 that broadcasted cartoons from the previously mentioned Deke Entertainment. In between these cartoons were brief sketches involving 4 teenage angels, Gabe, Raphaelia, Michael, and Angela. They would segue the content and provide valuable life lessons for the kids watching back home.
It's nice having Gabe back, isn't it?
Yeah, but... Oh, I don't think I can go through another brain freeze again. Yum, yum, yum. Gabe.
Cloud9 was part of a 2-year agreement, PAX TV, now called Ion Television, and the scenes with the angels were filmed at their studio. However, in 1999, it was replaced by a new programming block called PAX Kids. A man named Peter Paltridge, who runs the website platypuscomics.com, hosted a commercial of the series in September 2018. He said that he recorded 2 different broadcasts from the network, but the ad was all he could find of Cloud9. The only other footage we have comes from the YouTube user Lugia's VHS archive in April 2022. They managed to find 2 clips from the show during a September 1998 broadcast in Kansas City, Missouri.
The boss angel upstairs is really upset with Gabe for cheating. Uh-oh. And Gabe, you've been demoted to Cloud 8.
Oh no.
The Anti-Gravity Room. This series was a joint American-Canadian production between both YTV and the Sci-Fi Channel. It revolved around reviewing comics and video games, interviewing people, call-in segments, and discussing news relating to all things pop culture. This is pretty revolutionary for the time, especially in a pre-YouTube world. The 2 main hosts were Nick Scalar in New York and Phil Guerrero in Toronto, though other guest hosts would appear. Some were pretty huge names like Ben Stiller and Kevin Smith. It aired from 1995 to 1997, and the final season renamed the show's title to Warp. This is due to the network wanting to cancel the series early, so this version only aired in Canada. We do actually have a good amount of full episodes out there, but a good number are lost too. Out of the 65 confirmed episodes, 31 are fully found, 5 are partially found, and the other 29 are fully lost. This is the piece of lost media that I'm most hopeful will be found.
So who's next for a movie makeover? Spooky?
A little kid who smokes a cigar? I think not. How about Huey, baby?
Nah, too many diaper changes, man. Little Dot?
Too neurotic with all those dots. How about Wendy Witch?
Only if they cast Heather Locklear.
Not a lot of people know that. What's actually really interesting about this show is that it aired in 2013, instead of originating from the 80s to the early 2000s. Only 6 episodes were made, though we don't know the specific air dates. It aired on Channel 31 in Melbourne, Australia, with it being created by Neil Sinclair and hosted by Victoria Healy. It was a game show putting 2 teams against each other, with each containing Melbourne locals and a celebrity from the area. They competed in various mini-games to rack up points, with no prize being given out to the winner. Instead, they would be placed in the show's Hall of Fame. Now from the surface, it seems like all 6 episodes are readily available. The show's executive producer, Emma Sharp, uploaded all the episodes to her personal YouTube channel. However, episode 3 onwards are not the original versions, but instead reshoots. Neil opens up the episode with a monologue explaining what happened. According to him, someone stole the hard drive containing the last 4 episodes, so the crew redid the entire thing shot for shot with the same cast. The main difference is the set, which looks nothing like the original. So while the version of these that aired on TV are available, the originals might be lost forever. The situation is very reminiscent of Food Fight, a film which had most of its original content stolen and had to be redone. Though in this instance, the producers managed to create something pretty close to the original, so you gotta give them props for that.
Is Bill's hobby A, growing apples, B, Monopoly, or C, bridge?
I see how all of those are related.
Can he do all 3 at the same time? He probably could. I mean, I think the American government stopped his game of Monopoly.
Jerkbeast. Definitely one of the most notorious public access shows of all time, Jerkbeast reveled in being as offensive as possible. It's also the hardest to find, as the creator of the show, Brady Hall, started taking down any re-uploads of it in 2021. This is due to regret, as he and others associated grew out of this style of humor. They also noticed many newer fans used it as an excuse to be bigoted, though if a simple piece of media is going to influence you to act this way, you were bound to be one regardless. This message was left on the official Jerkbeast website, which expanded upon the reasoning behind making this show Lost. Brady even went after the archive.org links, which is pretty lame of him to do, not gonna lie. It's fine for the crew to be shameful about their past work, but trying to censor archive attempts is really pushing it for me. And yes, the show is just edgy nonsense, but it feels like such a time capsule to the era of public access television. It lasted from 2001 to 2002 on Seattle Community Access Network. It was a call-in show starring the titular Jerkbeast, who would cuss out anyone regardless of intentions. Some would try and out-cuss him, which never worked.
Hey, you guys suck ass, especially that red dude in the middle, man. Looks like a fucking ball sack with hair.
Shut the fuck up, he's the star.
You know, hey, you suck.
We provide this shitty entertainment.
Do you know how much we pay this fucking guy to be here?
I'm the Harry Connick Jr. of this outfit. Fuck you, you piss drinking.
He's the Harry Connick Jr. of public access.
Am I jacking off? You can see both my hands.
Oh yeah, I can see the fucking, oh, you crazy whore.
You are so fucking drunk, it's retarded.
Damn.
The Beast himself was an abomination made out of paper mache, who would have no limits in what he said. He even once called out a homophobic Christian public access show by calling them gay for Jesus, while referring to himself and everyone else on the show as fags for Jesus. In 2005, the team released a Jerkbeast movie, which details the creation of their band Steaming Wolf Penis. Much of this content was found in recent years up until Brady began purging it all, leading to some episodes being fully lost and others being incredibly hard to find. No matter how crude and horrid you think this show is, you have to admit it's incredibly interesting in terms of lost media. Also, the show can be kind of funny at times, which I'm not fully proud of.
Is the guy in the white supposed to have a frickin' string on his head?
Yes.
Like a tampon? What are you? Some kind of tampon?
He's the jizzard!
Huh?
How many times do you have to say it? He's the fucking jizzard.
Jizzard.
By the way, what are you?
Open up your fucking
I'm your mom's cunt is what I am.
Yeah,
I've been in her cunt.
Did you know that your mom's cunt was so linguistic?
Unwind was the Sweeties. This bizarre-looking show aired for an astounding 11 years, lasting from 1991 to 2002, on an unknown channel. That's honestly incredibly impressive, especially for something that would fit right at home in a snuff film collection. It was created by a married couple, Gus and Emma Shalisky, who also portrayed the two main characters. Gus, the husband, wears a green ski mask with buck teeth and glasses, with photos of eyes on them. His wife, Emma, does the exact same thing, except she wears a yellow mask and wears a different wig. The two mainly just talk while sitting in a gazebo, usually about random, unusual topics. They will also be seen reading, with Gus usually looking through not safe for work content.
Sweetie! Sweetie?
Yeah, sweetie, what? I was just,
You were having some type of a private moment. What was going on?
Sweetie, no, I'm sorry. I was just looking at this 3D, Jane Mansfield.
Even after the show ended in 2002, the couple still remains an online presence. Their blog was created in 2010 and had quite a few posts up, but most of them have been deleted. Now, one very controversial post was deleted after a short while, as it showed not safe for work material. It was a story titled Gus and Emma Shalisky's Family Reunion, which described Gus getting viciously attacked by an eagle. A graphic gory photo was shown to present what happened, which we can't show here. The duo also has an official YouTube channel where some full episodes were posted. These were taken down for an unknown reason, though the channel still uploads clips from the Unwind with the Sweeties.
You know, I don't feel bad about throwing things like bananas or... Okay, I didn't know. I won't do it. Okay.
Scary monster.
I'll stop. I'll stop. I promise. I'll stop. I'll stop.
Race and Reason. If you thought Jerkbeast took public access too far, you haven't seen nothing yet. This was a series made by Tom Metzger and his white supremacist group, White Aryan Resistance. He's most known for his involvement with the KKK in the 70s, and facilitating the murder of an Ethiopian man for no other reason than the color of his skin. What was his punishment for having his men kill this innocent man? Pay for a $12 million fine, which he only paid a fraction of due to not being too wealthy. No jail time, just having to pay 6 figures in fines. 2 years later, in 1990, Race and Reason began airing on multiple different local access channels, and rightfully faced backlash immediately. It was mainly just a platform to spread hate, with a special guest being brought on to relay their messages. The only reason this was allowed to air is due to free speech. Public access channels had to air all shows given to them, with the only exception being if the show did anything illegal, like inciting crimes. It was once taken off the air in early 1991, though this was due to poor tape quality of episodes. Half the show's episodes were sent out in low quality, which the channel owners used as a valid excuse to take the show off the time slot. Tom Metzger attempted to sue these stations over these transgressions, but nothing came from it. He died in 2020. It's rumored that Race and Reason had around 50 episodes, though we don't know for sure. The series is mostly lost, and nobody of a reasonable mind is going to look for them.
The Awful Truth About Society. This long-running series was hosted by Emmett Kay, the punk rocker, who used to go by the name Rabbit the Dog Punk. It aired for an astounding 20 years, from December 1994 to late 2014. It has a recounted 455 episodes, with most of that being lost. Out of the found 13 episodes and partially found first episodes, we have a pretty good idea of what entailed in The Awful Truth About Society. Emmett would discuss the more disturbing and unusual news stories of the time and relay conspiracy theories he had on certain topics.
They should be allowed to be children, but children now, 6th graders, are having to go through all the garbage. I didn't know about this. The brutality of the fights in junior high, the sex and the drugs of the junior highs, and everything like this. I never thought this would happen.
Honestly, this entire series just feels like an excuse for him to ramble on for hours with not much substance to it. Despite airing into the 2010s, the production quality stays nearly the same, though he noticeably ages. His massive mohawk in the start of the show begins to settle down. A clip from the first episode went viral on Vine in early 2015 due to the absurdity of the show, with re-uploads on YouTube getting millions of views.
What kind of garbage is that? Oops, my anarchy symbol.
In September 2015, Emmett announced his retirement from making TV shows, and he hasn't really been heard from ever since.
Joy Junction. Joy Junction aired during the mid-1980s on the Christian Television Network, soon being syndicated to other networks like Kids Club and Smile Up, until 2005. The show was named after the setting itself, a little village with some wacky characters. It was hosted by Don McAllister, portraying a fictionalized version of himself known as Sheriff Don. He was joined by the Professor, played by Forrest Padley, and Ronald Brown. Ron was a ventriloquist, who would host a segment talking to his creepy puppet Marty.
I was noticing all these flags here in Joy Junction today. There certainly are a lot of them. That's right. I don't know if you realize this or not, Marty, but there was a big price paid for these flags. Really? I thought they were on sale over at the store this week. Well, I don't mean a price like that, Marty. I mean that a lot of people fought in wars so that we could enjoy the freedoms and the liberties that we have here in America.
Now, despite Marty coming off as unsettling, what was truly disturbing about this show was Ron himself. While he came off as a good-hearted Christian to those he knew, secretly, he was a monster. In 1998, after being charged with a traffic violation, police spotted a pair of boys' underwear in the back of his car. When questioned, Ron told the officers that the undergarments were used to dress up as puppets. For years, he would invite children from his congregation into his home for pizza parties, and perform with Marty at their church. One of these children nearly became a target of both Ron and a man named Michael Arnett, who he was talking with. Ron mentioned some depraved things in group chats, like wanting to abuse, cook, and eat children. Both were caught in a massive sting operation that spanned 2 continents. In 2013, they were charged for conspiring to kidnap a child and having CP. Ron was sentenced to 20 years in prison, and will forever be labeled a sex offender. Once this was all revealed, the owners of Joy Junction demolished much of the show's tapes, making it mostly lost. Only 2 episodes were known to have survived until April 2021. Another 11 episodes were uploaded to YouTube, along with a commercial for the series.
You know, that kind of reminds me of a verse I'm thinking of in the Bible that's found in 2 Timothy 2:22. And it says that you should run away from anything that will give you evil thoughts. And as your companions, you should have friends who have pure and clean thoughts and will only give you good ideas. Well, you know what I decided to do? What's that, Marty? I decided to turn around and go right back home. Well, Marty, I'm real proud of you for that. And some of the kids were kind of laughing at me, too. Well, that's okay, Marty. I think they will respect you for your opinion. And, you know, I'm glad you weren't wishy-washy. I'm glad you remained firm in your belief that looking at those kind of things is wrong. I'm real proud of you, Marty, for the decision you made.